This is the manuscript of Sunan Abi Dawud as written by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. This is the great Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, the author of Fath al-Bari, commentary on Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari. Okay, this is his actual, this is a photograph of his actual manuscript. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? This is Sunan Abi Dawud, right? Written out now in the beginning. So, Sunan Imam Abu Dawud, he died, I think, 274, I think, something like that, right? 275. Okay. So between him and Ibn Hajar, there's how many years? 275 and 852. So we're talking about like what? 500 years, 600 years gap. Okay. So how do you, Ibn Hajar, how do you know what's in Sunan Abi Dawud? Oh, I just bought a copy of it. Okay, what does that mean? Where'd you get that from? So we're going to see in the beginning that he's going to give all his chains of transmission back to the students of Abi Dawud, back to Al-Lu'lu'i, back to Ibn al-Arabi, back to all of these people. Right? So he's going to say here is his chain of transmission. He's going to be so-and-so from so-and-so from so-and-so from so-and-so from so-and-so from so-and-so from so-and-so. We're going to go right to the back to the end. I can try and find it. Here it says, Anba'ana. So he said, informed us with the narration of Ibn Dasa. So Ibn Dasa, one of the students of Abu Dawood. Okay. Shaykhana, so-and-so, from so-and-so, from so-and-so, from so-and-so, from so-and-so. Right here, the chain going back all the way to Ibn Dasa from Abu Dawood. And then he mentions وَهِيَ مُوَافِقَةٌ لِرِوَايَةِ اللُّؤْلُؤِ غَالِبًا. And it's usually the same as Lu'lu'i. So when you say Abu Dawood, which version of Abu Dawood? So he's going to mention for every single thing, and even the chapters, maybe the chapters are different. We heard these chapters going back to Al-Lu'lu'i, going back to Abu Dawood, with Abu Dawood's chain of transmission back to the Prophet ﷺ. So basically, he has chains all the way back to the Prophet ﷺ, going to the 9th century. From the 9th century, going back to the Prophet ﷺ, going through Abu Dawood. He's going to mention Ibn Dasa's version of it, and Al-Lu'lu'i, and then Abu Bakr ibn al-Arabi, and someone else, I can't remember now. Right? So that's how every single thing works. Remember when I was in Jordan, there was a sheikh, the head of an Islamic university, and he was giving his ijazah for the Muwatta. So what you have now, for example, somebody who has an ijazah in the Muwatta, they have a chain transmission usually going through Morocco, because they have the shortest chains, going back to Spain, going back to Ubaidullah ibn Yahya al-Laythi, to his father Yahya ibn Yahya al-Laythi, to Imam Malik himself. Right? That's going to have your chain going back to, and there'll be multiple chains like that. Right? But that's the picture of how these chains work. Right? And you're going to see it go so that he can, and sometimes for example, Ibn Hajar as well in things called Nata'ij al-Afkar. He has a kind of semi-commentary on the Kitab al-Afkar by Imam al-Nawawi. What he'll do is he has his own chain that doesn't go through Imam Nawawi, nor does he even go through Imam Nawawi's source, but goes through an alternative source for the hadith that Imam Nawawi is quoting. So he's saying, my source actually joins at a higher point, right, than the source that Imam Nawawi is mentioning. It goes, for example, to the Sheikh of Abu Dawood, or the Sheikh of Imam Bukhari, for example. So I actually have evidence to corroborate Bukhari's thing with my separate chain. And so this is how the muhaddithin can do time travel, right? That even though you're 600 years later, you can actually, through having multiple chains, you can kind of find yourself in a lesson in the year 205, somewhere in Central Asia. Because these two people were both there at that time, or they came at similar times, so they're both hearing the same hadith from the same person, right? or in fact you can, and that's why that's with the how does it work with the Quran then? With the Quran is you have multiple chains going back to whom? Abu Huraira, go back to the Prophet ﷺ himself. So then you have the Fatiha going through this city and a Fatiha going through that city and through Medina and through Mecca and in Kufa and in Basra and through this person. And then it's like, okay, the Prophet ﷺ definitely 100% recited the Fatiha, period. Right? But this is all chain of transmission. This is how it all works. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, Sheikh. جزاكم الله
Yeah.
خيرا.
Perfect. سبحان الله وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك